What is up, guys? Welcome back to another beard vlog. Now, I don't know what we're calling these things. It doesn't matter. Anyways, welcome back. It's been like a week and a half. But, I don't want to force these things. I just want to talk when I'm feeling like talking. So I think you guys can appreciate that completely. But what I've been thinking about is, a while back I said, the world doesn't care about your problems. I think that's absolutely true, but I want to put a small asterisk on that a little bit and say that the world doesn't care. Sometimes people do. And I think that's important to remember, that sometimes people really do. A couple weeks ago, I was stuck in the mud with my forklift, and it was just kind of the point where, it was late in the evening, didn't have anybody could call for help. I was going to have to call Wrecker, probably pay for that out of my pocket, wait to being reimbursed on that because everybody had went home. I didn't have anybody to call, like I said. And so the guy who owned the lot where I was delivering, he was, he was getting ready to pack up and go home, and he seen that I was in trouble and I was struggling with it. And I'm actually really good at my job. I know how to operate the machinery to a point where this is not normally that big of a problem, but I was stuck. I was really stuck, and so I did everything I knew how to do, and even learned a few things that had never considered before. And this guy, he just comes over and he's putting every piece of it. He's working harder than I am trying to get out, and I'm the one in the situation. So I'm thinking, well, one of two things. We're not going to get out of here. I'm going to have to leave the lift, come back tomorrow, something like that, which I didn't want to do. And, but he just works and works and works and works. His neighbor comes up, sits there and watches us work, and this guy about breaks his back trying to help me until finally we get out. Digging, getting himself filthy and in the mud, just because he, something about him wanted to make the world a better place for me in that moment, because he knew how bad I was struggling, and didn't have to. There's people like that really can make a difference in the world. I was also going to lunch one day, stopped at a place I normally stop at and went to a Subway, which is a big thing for truck drivers, Subway. And I went in, and this lady was there, and she was just completely bubbly, just completely happy, just completely overjoyed to be at work. Now, it's completely ridiculous because people aren't that way, it's like work, oh God, I gotta... And so she just, with the smile she had on her face and the attitude she had about everything going on, it was like I left out of there with a complete and utter outlook on the day that I didn't have before. And it changed how I was looking at everything in such a way that it made me that happy. And so kind of what I want to get at today is, between these two stories, it's what can we do? Sometimes just being a nice person and doing what I can do with what I'm given, what I have, to make the world a better place. Why shouldn't I do that? Sometimes it just requires, saying yes to moments. And I think about a story. Now, before I tell you this story, I want to say that I'm in no wise pushing beliefs or in no wise talking about spiritual things. But there is a story in the Bible, the book of Esther, and she is chosen to be queen, and her people are the Jewish people, but they're stuck in what is, I don't know what the empire would have been called by then, but we recognize that same thing as the Roman Empire from Alexander the Great, because the king was actually Xerxes from 300, the movie, the guy who's out there trying to kill and overtake every community possible. But he's this girl, very young girl, is chosen to be his wife because he had his wife killed. And so process of time goes by, she becomes his wife, and his right-hand man decides that he's got a problem with the Jewish people, and that goes way back into history, because his people were all but exterminated by the Jewish people, And so he was holding a grudge. He was like the last remaining of his kind, of his people. And so this girl's uncle sees what's going on. It's like, oh gosh, if we don't do something, if something's not done, all of our people, we're all going to just be killed, And the king at this point did not know that his wife was of Jewish descent. And so he goes to her and says, maybe you have been chosen to be queen with this king, because a time was going to rise like this where you could actually do something to make the world a better place for your people. And so she risked her life going before the king, because if she weren't summoned, she could have had her head chopped off. That was law back then. It was crazy. And so she risked her life to go before the king and said, wait a minute, these are my people. Can you please not do this? And so the whole thing that reminds me of this is like, where have we come to? What place are we in? What do we have? What power or position do we have? Even down to the smallest little things of having a great smile on our face and having a bubbly personality that we can share that makes the world a better place. 9 times out of 10, we're not in a position where doing something is going to get our head chopped off. So why don't we do something to make the world a better place today? Make somebody feel better. Give somebody a compliment. Lend a helping hand. Whatever it is. And I want to challenge that this week. Let's do something to make the world a better place for somebody. All right, guys, if you like the video, leave a like. But more than that, put some comments down. Let me know where somebody made your world a better place, even just for a few moments, because of how they acted or how they lended a hand, did something they didn't have to do for you. Or even let me know sometime you did that for somebody and you knew it made an impact on their life. But anyways, guys, I got to get out of here. This video is going long. And thanks, guys, for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.